Hey, everybody. It's Tuesday. Yay. I see that we've got Justine on here and Judy Van Zant, so welcome. Hello. For anybody that pops on later on for the replay, I am Joy with Pajama Crafter Stamps, and we are going to make a scene, which I usually make a scene almost every day. I mean, in my real life, not really, but anyway, we're just gonna get going here. And again, I forgot to mute my TV, so you guys got to hear my craziness. I'm telling you, this is a professional show here. I even had my Pajama Crafter pajamas on today. So we are using the stamp sets See You Soon and Beach Huts, which I'm trying to get my hands on. Alright, so this is the See You Soon. And it says I've got to get my glasses on in order to even read it. It says, see you soon. Sometimes in the waves of change we find our true direction. Let your worries wash out with the tide. And then we've got these huts. It says warm birthday wishes. Life is better at the beach. Love you to the beach and back. And then sandy toes, salty kisses, seashell wishes. Okay. So, hi Tanya. Hello. So, I had the intention of putting a moon in here with the full moon stencil, but then I wanted to do something different. So you guys know that I am a fan of Craft Roulette, and the parameters this week, somebody tell me if I'm wrong, is a thank you card, a galaxy, colors, space. What's the last one? Let me know what the other one is, Justine, if you don't remember. Anyway, so I am going to use galaxy colors for the sky on the beach because it's my favorite space. And I've got the word thank you cut out from this, from the thank you shadow word die. It's originally a prickly pear set, but it is still available, so we'll be using that. So we'll see. What is the other parameter? I'm going to drive myself crazy if I don't figure it out. Alright. So I use some, I think it's called rock candy. It's just some masking paper, double-sided paper. And we are going to, and I already fuzzy cut that out. So this is already on top of there. Flying kites. So is it flying kites for the colors? Okay, I think. Yes. And fancy paper. Oh my god, the fancy paper. I forgot the fancy paper! Anyway, we're moving on. So I am going to use dye inks. Now, I have changed my mind 17 times on this card. So I did the water so that it's like this shape here. So we have a little bit of sand. These are the steps that go down to the ocean. And then these are the beach roses, and then I did the huts. So first we're going to start with the ink blending. So yellow is going, look at this. My ink pads are, alright, I'm a mess. Nothing new here, nothing new to see. Alright, so I am using lemon. This is by Maker Forte. They are not in business anymore, but they were some of my favorite inks once upon a time, and sometimes I don't think it hurts to get some new friends out. So we are going to use this yellow. So Justine's saving me. She's telling me that I should do a border with some fancy paper, and I will do that. I just have to make up my mind what that's going to look like. So I'm kind of moving this stickiness over. Because I don't want that harsh line. Alright? Okay. Now we are going to use our, this is called Coral Keys. So it would be like an abandoned, is it abandoned coral by Distress Inks? But I like this glowy color. And see how pretty that makes that look. So I'm kind of using the yellow so it'll poke through behind the houses. And then I'm going to use this shell suit, which honestly I can't remember. We should probably swatch that before I put it down because it's been a hot minute since I've used this ink. And if we need to find another color, we will. Nope, that's perfect. See? Okay. So it's like a hot pink. So if you were going to make a galaxy background, you would use like oranges, and you would use like a purple, and you would use like a teal and stuff. So we are going to kind of get by doing the same thing here. I wish that these inks were still available because they are my absolute favorite. Okay. Now I'm going to get real gutsy here. And I'm going to grab my, I love the reveals always. Now if anybody knows me, I actually hate fussy cutting and I hate masking, so this is because I really love you guys. Alright. Pretty dang cool, isn't it? When you do that reveal. So then I think I'm going to take flat white, which is like a vintage photo-ish color. And I'm going to use some of my small brushes. The reason I'm using these dye inks is because I can Copic color over them. Now, in full transparency, I started to say this and then I backed out. I was originally going to use oxides and not use my markers at all. So I heat embossed this, but I heat embossed it using dye ink, and I went really fast with clear. So I want to talk about that for a minute because I've seen a lot of misconceptions and it makes me absolutely bonkers. When this is Blue Moon, when you heat emboss with a pigment ink, that is still a pigment ink and it gets trapped underneath the clear embossing powder. So clear embossing powder is just basically melted plastic, but that ink goes down into your paper. So when you actually heat emboss, you're still, and then you use your markers with your VersaFine Clair or your VersaFine Onyx Black, you are still going to get that your markers mixing with that ink and you're still going to smear. So that is why I always say do not do it. I know there are a lot of people out there that say go ahead, do it, it's fine. It's not fine. Hey Jane, nice to see you. She's saying hi and she's off to bed. So thank you for stopping by. It was nice talking to you for a little bit today. All right. So I'm just using a bunch of different colors here of blue. Now this one is my absolute favorite blue. This is Vegas Strip. So the water at the edge here at the bottom is going to be darkest. And the reason I didn't stamp this in blue was because it's going to be a night scene. Okay, so we're not going to have a whole lot of other, like, it's going to be more shadow than anything. All right. So I'm going to clean this off because right now I know this looks like a hot mess, and it's going to, like, it's going to look bad until it doesn't. Or you guys are just going to tell me it's bad and it's time to click off this video. It's fine. But I am using my stamp chamois just to clean off my desk because who wants anything to be ugly? All right. So I am going to use my favorite wood color. So this is E59. And again, I did use a dye ink, but I did emboss it. And I do truly feel like it's going to be ugly until it's not. I am not going to be offended if you say, oh no, this isn't for me. Okay. Now this is E55. Just kind of filling that in. Now, technically speaking, everything, the light is coming from behind, so technically speaking, there's going to be shadows all throughout there, and we can work that in. But for right now, let's just kind of get this down and dirty. Hey, Pam. Again, it's going to look real bad until it doesn't. And I'm going to come in and kind of just kind of color the sand in. So I got that brown or that almost vintage photo looking stuff in there because I wanted it to give it the appearance of different shadows inside this. So we're really letting the ink, the underpainting of the other inks, kind of do a lot of the work. Now, if you guys haven't figured it out, I am going to chop that off. So that's why I'm not playing, I don't really care too much about it. Now, we are going to make some weathered wood. So we're going to use a 37, a 5, 5, and a 3. And I guess we should just go ahead and fill some more of this sand in. And we can get into the shadowing and all that stuff. Like, this is like down and dirty, just getting some stuff in there. All right. So we're going to use this W7. So today's been a really strange day for me. I was up at 3:30 working, trying to get ready for the show. And I've been up ever since. And then I had to run to Cincinnati, like northern Cincinnati, to get some product for the make and take that I'm doing on Friday night for Stamp Fest. So yeah, it's been a different day. So now for these buildings. That's the W3, and we will work that out more. Okay. Let's get the W1. And then I'm going to cast some of these shadows. And let's go ahead and put some 31, E31 down in here. And again, we can muddy this up. I mean, it's pretty muddy as it is, but okay. Now I am going to start with a YG03 to put some of this grass in. Now, we're going to get darker with it though. But I want there to be some hint of grass, like of the colors. Because if you guys, have you ever taken a photo like from behind a tree, like when into the sunset, you get like some vibrancies and then you get some that are really, really dark. And I think the artist, which is Michelle, I think she did a really good job at putting in a lot of the shading. So even if you don't like to color, you kind of already get that in there, you know? All right. And now, and I'm working this back and forth because, you know, when I use these lighter colors, then I kind of wash it out. So I might come back in here with this E59. And since I used a 31 for this sand, I'm thinking I'm gonna kind of dot that in, and we're gonna just muddle this up. Who did it? Who? Okay. I think they're saying somebody did a really good job with this one. It was Michelle. Now, did you guys see Kelly's coloring of this? Man, it was phenomenal. Okay, now back to the 3-1. Now we're going to put in some bright colors. You guys know that was going to come. Eventually was going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and dot in these beach roses, and I'm using an R32. I'm going to keep working this back and forth until I like what I see. So like this is going to be one of those cards that like not necessarily great until we're done. And then I might still scratch it. You never know, because sometimes things just don't work out the way you want it. And right now, it's looking real. Ugh. So this is an E37. You have to remember, most of this is going to be in shadow down here. So I'm only going to do like peaks of that R32. All right, so far we've got like a million colors going on. I am going to kind of smooth this out with the E30. And I'm even bringing that E30 down into the water. Okay. I think maybe I need to re-ink my marker. It's making that squeaky squeaky, which drives me crazy. Which means do as I say, not as I do. And I always say, you gotta take care of your markers. And then I'm not. All right. So this is a YG67. Now remember, I'm kind of like coloring on top of embossed stuff. But I embossed with a dye ink. YG03 again. So I'm letting that sand sort of like sit in the center there, but I'm also extending this green up a little bit. All right. these chairs are going to mainly be in shadow. So this is the C7. And technically speaking, the top will be darker. Actually, that's not true. It'll be darker at the bottom, but I just did it backwards. So I just do as I say, not as I do. It's really hard teaching this. It's the first time you've colored it. Hi, Deidre. You're from Ireland. Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm so glad that you were able to join us. And this is the C5. And a C3. And again, most of this is in shadow because the light is behind us. All right. It looks, I don't know. Does it look bad? I don't know. I think it kind of does. But we're going to keep going. I feel like maybe just some wispies in there. I feel like I'm not doing Michelle justice today. Let's do some of the beach houses. We're going to use a BG 78 and 72. So in this case, the light's coming from behind the house. One thing I want to do is I didn't do a very good job at masking. So right where that line is, I'm going to blend that in with an R17. All right. So this BG78 is going to be kind of our shadow color for two of the houses. Thanks, Miss Justine. You're always my cheerleader. I love you to death. So I'm going to do just a little bit. Now you have to remember these are going to be weathered houses, so they don't have to be like super, super duper colored here. We're just playing. Now, do I want them to be super duper? Yes, I do, because I want you guys to like it. Now, this is a BG75. And I know some of you are going, I would color this differently. And I always say that too when I'm watching. I'm like, oh, it's so easy when you're watching to be like, oh yeah, you should have done this or you should have done that. No kidding. I know. So Justine said that for a craft roulette that we have to do a special paper. We have to do kite colors, and we have to create a space like galaxy. So I'm using galaxy colors for the background of the sky. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And now I'm going to use a W1 if I can find it on my desk. The desk is starting to get covered here. Yes, so that is why, yes. So she's like, you could say that the beach is my happy place. And that's exactly why we're doing this today. It's because this is my happy space. So this R17 is what matches that house the best. Now we're going to use, I don't know. I think we're going to use a nice golden color for the rest of our house. All right. I haven't decided on the doors yet, if you guys haven't figured out why I haven't gotten there. So this is an E23. So, for those of you who don't know, we are leaving to go to Lakeland, Florida for Stamp Fest on Thursday. And we do the Make and Take It night. That's like a special event that people, I guess, pay to participate in. And then Friday, that's Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday is the actual show. So we set up on Friday, then Friday night we do the Make It and Take It night, and then we do the show Saturday and part of Sunday. Actually not looking as bad as I thought. Sometimes, like, if I look up at, so I always cast it up on the TV to see what it actually looks like, because with all my equipment going, like, I get a kind of a small screen, so I use my TV to see it. That's why sometimes you see me like a monkey sometimes and forget to turn it off, the volume, so sometimes you get to hear me talking in tandem until I hear it the first 10 seconds. W3, W5. All right, we're gonna do some weathered doors. Is this popular in the English coastline? I didn't know that. One of these days I am going to make it overseas. Okay, you guys, I hope he's listening. So, my husband's job is based overseas in Germany. But he's got sites multiple places in the world. And I told him, I said, if you ever get the chance to go, I don't care where it is that we're going, but I'm going with you. Obviously we would pay for my airfare, that kind of stuff. It's not like work's going to pay for that. But he just called me today to look to see when his passport expired. And so I gladly went, and I said, so where are we going? So it sounds like he might possibly make it, fingers crossed, to Germany. I have no idea what the what dates or anything else like that would look like. I just know that I possibly might be able to go, and I am all for it. Like, I am all for the things. So hopefully I hear some good news tonight when he gets home. Or I'm going to be told I'm stuck at home, and then I'm not going to be a very nice person. Let's be real. I will not be nice. Won't be nice about it. Okay. And I am going to make that bucket gray. Like, all one color gray, because it would technically be in shadow. Okay? Okay. All right. There we go. That's not worth a darn. So now I'm just like scribbling. And I'm breaking up those lines. I'm hoping I make it across the pond. And it's kind of funny because my family is German. And I've always wanted to go. So it would make me extremely happy. Alright. So I feel like I still need some color. I don't know. Let's make these doors. But if he leaves me home and goes without me, I will not be very happy. But with that said, I did sign up to go to a retreat. And he uses all of his vacation time to go to shows. And I get to go to a retreat. And so I don't know how fair that would be for me to be upset if I don't get to go. But, you know. Okay. Let's chop this down. You guys, those doors are driving me nuts for some reason. I'm not digging them. Go all the way to the side here. Oh, that's always so scary. Is anybody else like holding their breath? So that measures 3.5. So we actually are going to have to take that down to 4 3/4. So we're going to lose a lot of this water. There's not a lot of not a lot of room to play here, you guys. We might have to do a wonky cut. Let's see. Okay, so now that that is framed, doesn't that look so much better? But I still feel like we need to like add some highlights or do something. So what I don't like, because these are dye inks, is that this Sharpie is kind of like blending in. So you said I have to have like some special something, huh? This is killing me that this is not the right size. I'm just saying. Like, I really want this to be right. Oh, that hurt. Alright, let me find some paper. If you guys look in my closet and you tell everybody that I'm a hot mess, I'll die. This is a secret between all of us. Oh, this is killing me. I forgot, Justy, that I had to have special paper, or else I would have had this planned out. I'm really upset. And you know I can't find it just because you guys are, you know, watching. Oh. Alright, do these count? I think they do. So this is some foam, whatever, from Spellbinders. Is that really, did I cut this all the way? Did I? No, it's actually supposed to go down even, oh. This hurts my soul. So that was 3 3/4 by 5, by 4 3/4, 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Oh, look at that. That's pretty, you guys. Yes, it is highfalutin paper. That's for darn sure. And we're going to do one more. This is not my normal. This would be not my normal. However, you guys might be seeing a sneak peek of what's going to be in the store. Just saying. Okay. So you know the heart wants what the heart wants. So we're going to make a black. No. What color are we going to be? No, we'll just use white. Then will we? Okay. We're good. I think. So we're going to do this one. This paper's not. Okay, you guys, I got this really nifty tool. I got a paper creaser because I went to my local FedEx and UPS to see if they would score my paper for me, because quite frankly I'm a little on the lazy side. And anyway, they would not do it. Where is my glue? Deidre, I'm so embarrassed that this is the first time you've seen me live. Where is my Barely Art glue? I'm hoping I don't already have it packed for the show. I will literally die right here on the spot. Where did my glue go? I mean, I have, oh, there it is. I have like 3 bottles of Barely Art glue. But when I go to a show, I take it all with me. Did you know at one of the shows I went to, somebody stole my glue, and I about lost my mind because I used my personal glue. Actually, I wanted that to go that way. I used my personal glue as like a either for demo purposes or for display purposes because I sell it, right? And literally somebody stole my glue and I lost my ever loving mind. I legit I couldn't believe somebody stole it right from me. What do you say to that? I need my ATG gun, I think. And it is not. Okay, we're gonna pop up the phone. We're gonna pop up the phone tape because we're gonna pop up the foam. Because with that being a foam glitter, it's not going to stick too easily. Like the actual Barely Art glue will kind of like seep down into the glitter. Telling you what, you guys, words are hard. Okay, so in addition to trying to get ready for the show, I had to drive to up north, 45 minutes away, to pick up my stuff for the make and take, and traffic was bad. So I am in my lane. I'm in the middle lane. Well, people who were in the left lane wanted in my lane. First, it was a semi truck, and they started honking at me because I was in the space they wanted. That is not my problem. Anyway, they about ran me off the road, and I was very upset, and I was like losing. Hey Brian, I didn't see you pop on. And so I about lost my mind on that. Because I think just because you have a need to be somewhere does not mean that you've got to hurt somebody else. That's just my opinion. And so it really made me upset. So then I'm still driving in traffic coming home. And about 15 minutes later, I get right down to downtown Cincinnati, because I'm coming over to Kentucky. And this lady comes across 4 lanes of traffic and wants to be in my lane. And she's like honking her horn, she's yelling and doing all those crazy things. And I looked at her, I was like, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? She literally pushed me over into the median. But like I said, I value my life, so I didn't really fight with her, you know? But I was upset. All right. So far, what do you guys think of this highfalutin paper? Did this turn out better than you thought? Tanya's like, Cincinnati driving is better. Okay, Tanya, since you're local, and Justine was just here. I grew up in Harrison, and which is by Indiana, and I used to say that Indiana drivers were horrible. No, sir, no, ma'am. Cincinnati drivers are horrible. And I never truly believed that until I looked. Oh my gosh, that's going to take up so much space. Ugh. Do you guys hate it when you have to put a sentiment on a card and it like takes up this the good real estate? I hate it. Let's see. All right, we're doing this on the inside because nobody said that my thank you had to be on the outside. Am I right? All right, let's find tweezers, maybe. But anyway, Cincinnati driving was atrocious today. And maybe I was like the Indiana driver, because usually Indiana drivers are like really slow. Like they have nowhere they have to be. It's legit. And maybe that's what I was doing, and maybe the people in Ohio had places to be. I don't know. I just wanted to live. Living is good, you know? Justine's given me permission to put this in on the inside. So I love this. Thank you. And to be honest with you, I always forget that we have it. I really like the font on it, like a lot. But I always forget that we have it. How dare I want to live? Isn't that funny? Right? Y'all, did you just see what I just did? I almost glued the black onto the black. I'm a mess. Anyway. So Justine, I said hello to Mary Gunn yesterday, and because we had a winner from Crafterlet, and I needed to get the store voucher to somebody, and she's very excited to have you on the team, or not on the team, on the show. So if you guys don't know, Justine's going to be on Friday. Yay! Okay. That was painful to watch, I'm sure. What I do like about this is that the shadow piece all connects, so you're not like having to fiddle with all the tweezers a second time, unless you like to do so. Okay. Where's my little frog? Little frog, little frog. You had your tech call yesterday. So once you have your tech call, don't you feel so much better? Because then you're like, okay, I got this. Like, it's going to be okay. All right, so we still need a sentiment, you guys, because, I mean, it's gonna make me crazy. And my desk is a little bit more covered than it normally is. I mean, you all know, you've been here long enough to know that my desk is always covered in all the things, because I'm always crafting and stuff, and I've got 1,000 markers. But it especially is wild right now because I'm trying to get ready for the show. Do you know that I have not packed one thing for the show? Everything's priced, everything's cut, but I have not packed one thing yet, and that's because I had to wait. I had to wait for my stuff to be done at the print shop. They were supposed to be done last week, and I'm not complaining. Please don't. I'm not mad. But it was supposed to be done last week, which would have been awesome sauce. But they ran out of the paper that I like, and I am very particular about my cardstock, as in, don't give me crap. And they've done it one time where they gave me the wrong paper. I mean, I can tell just by feeling it. Like, I know. And I lost my mind over it. Because when when you're selling to people, you want the very best quality that possibly give them. And I didn't get that. And I felt like I'm their customer and they should have given me what I asked for. Anyhow, so they had to order it for me because they ran out. Oh. Look at me. Don't you hate it when you do that? Like I was afraid to cut it, and then I cut it too thick, but that's fine. We got this. Now what we could, can we... Love you to the beach and back. Yes, I do. I'm gonna cut myself a strip. Yes, Tanya, I am working on that as we speak. It has been... When the U.S. supplier closed, it left us in a very weird spot with the dyes. I found a company that I really like. What I didn't like were the wire transfer fees. And I needed to find... Actually, I needed to find something that would work for me and would work for the bank. You know what I mean? So I finally found a bank that has better wire transfer fees. So now that I've done that, I will have dyes. And I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but it took a hot minute to actually find. I wanted to find the supplier I wanted because I went with two, signed up with like two, and then the one I like the best only does a wire transfer. Wire transfers are so scary, you guys, because if you get one number wrong, like, you never see your money again. Do you know what I mean? And that to me is scary. But I think we're good now. I just had to go. It was a lot of learning curves, but yes, I'm working on the dye situation. I'm even looking at restocking some of the ones that were like my older stuff that I don't have dyes for that we sold out of. It's like with everything with the tariffs going on, and it's taken me a minute to navigate it, And I think we're going to leave this exactly as it is. So, wait a minute. I didn't know I had two pieces of black. Okay. This card's saying I need more dimension. It's fine. I love me some dimension. Okay. You never know what's going to happen on a live. So, love you to the beach and back, and it says thank you. So, we've got galaxy colors that we used in the background. We created my favorite space, and we made it into a thank you card. So, I think we met all of the requirements. I have a question. When you guys first saw me blending and you saw me put all the shadows in, and I went with these like desaturated colors, did it seem like it was just going to be a mess? Now, I honestly would like to go darker with the water. So I just did that was the B45, but it was like scary until it wasn't scary, you know. Thanks, Brian. And that is going to be my craft roulette card. I don't know if this truly meets the parameters this week, but I just needed to have it. So I feel like my design team did a much better job at this card than I did. But, you know, crafting live and under pressure is another thing. So I think this is it for me. That thank you die is so good. Yes, I agree. So I am going to jump off here because it's going to be dinner time. And then I seriously need to start throwing some stuff in some suitcases and packing the car and all that good stuff. And oh my, Justine, remember how I told you like how I was like hoping that winter would go away? It was like, it felt like 108 degrees here today with the humidity and the heat. So it was, so when you were here, you actually picked a really good time to be here. All right, guys. I love you guys. I will see you in a week because on Friday I will be in Florida. So I will not be going live unless I do a live like shoot of the booth or something. But you will not see me here at 1 o'clock on Fridays. So I do apologize for that. That's why I wanted to be on here today. All right. Good night. Toodles.